I am a shofar, I'm a horn of a ram. You can see me on Rosh Hashanah. When the Baal Tokei gets ready to blow, you can hear the sound tekiah. Not a sound in the show, not a whisper or a sigh. You can hear the drop of a pin. When the Baal Tokei gets ready to blow, the sound of Shevarim. I am a shofar, I'm the horn of a ram. You can see me on Rosh Hashanah. Everyone tries to count all the blasts that I make in the sound of all together that day we will hear 100 sounds which remind us to do teshuvah. Now let's see if you all will be able to recall the 3 sounds of the shofar. Now a great, big tekiah gedolah.
Rosh Hashanah here, leave a message.
Hey RH, it's me. If you're there, pick up. I was just looking at the Hebrew calendar, and I see you coming up, and I can't wait to celebrate. You are the head of the new year. I'm so glad you're coming near. Is that a shofar that I hear being blown? I want you to inscribe me in your book of life. You're the honey to my hive. 'Cause I gotta love you, Rosh Hashanah. I cannot wait for 5768. You're my favorite holiday. I like to celebrate. I got an apple to dip and many shevets to sip on. 'Cause I gotta love you, Rosh Hashanah. Kippur leaves me feeling empty inside. Passover reminds me of the tears that we cried. But I don't wanna think about our tragic history, oh no. 'Cause I'm coming home for Rosh Hashanah. You are so sweet, Rosh Hashanah. All the apples we eat, Rosh Hashanah. You make me feel so complete, oh no. 'Cause I'm coming home for Rosh Hashanah. R to the O to the S to the H, the H-A-S-H-A-N-A-H. R to the O to the S to the H, the H-A-S-H-A-N-A-H. R to the O to the S to the H, the H-A-S-H-A-N-A-H. R to the O to the S to the H, the H-A-S-H-A-N-A-H. R to the O to the S to the H, the H-A-S-H-A-N-A-H. R to the O to the S to the H, the H-A-S-H-A-N-A-H. R to the O to the S to the H, the H-A-S-H-A-N-A-H. R to the O to the S to the H, the H-A-S-H-A-N-A-H.
Well, that's right, friends. It's Rosh Hashanah. So, shalom, shalom. Welcome to our Rosh Hashanah Tefillah. We hope that this new year is going to be a great one for everyone. And we are so thrilled that you were able to join us and celebrate the new year. So, and I think Rabbi is going to talk to us about how we're going to do that.
Shana Tova, everybody. Whoop, hold on. There we go. Shana Tova, everybody. It's good to be with you, whether you're with us here on Zoom or whether you're on YouTube or Facebook. If you're on YouTube, I don't know that you're there, but it's good to have you there. But those on Facebook, I can see that some of you are there. If you're there, say hello so we know who's with us. And of course, those who are with us on Zoom. And there may be some of you who are watching this service a little later in the day as well. And we welcome you too if you're watching it from our archived video on our Facebook or YouTube pages. So it's good to be with you. I am going to, Cantor Paul and I are going to lead a relatively short service. It's probably about 40 minutes today. We'll hear the sound of the shofar, and we will hear a little bit of Torah being read, and we will hear High Holy Day music and melodies. One of the things that's special or unique about our family services is that because we only have one during the daytime, it combines pieces of the evening service and pieces of the morning service. So they're kind of mixed together here. And so you can hear some tunes that are from the evening, and you can hear some tunes that are from the morning service as we move through. So Rosh Hashanah is sometimes called the birthday of the world. It is the birthday of the world. The Rosh Hashanah day is actually supposed to be the sixth day of creation, coincides with the sixth day of creation, which is the day that that human beings are created. But in the Yom Harat Olam, it is the day that the world is born. And Cantor Paul, do you have a book there to read congregational pieces?
Yes, I do.
All right, great.
I'm a Shaliach Tzibur.
Yes, great. On Rosh Hashanah, we celebrate the creation of the world. We are reminded of all the things and all the people that were created and that make our lives possible and beautiful. We might say that Rosh Hashanah is the birthday of the world.
On my birthday, my family and my friends and I remember how happy we are that I was born, that I was created.
Well, we are happy that you were born, Cantor Paul. And on the birthday of the world,
as we are you.
On the birthday of the world, we remember how happy we are that we and the world were created. We think of all the blessings of creation and all that we need and have in this world.
The world is very old, but we can wake up every day and see the world as if it had just been created.
In the very beginning of our Torah, written so long ago, our ancestors described how God made the world. God created light and darkness, water and earth. God filled the water with fish and the skies with birds, and created all kinds of animals to roam the earth. Then God said, I will create humans in my image. And the first humans appeared. And God told the humans to enjoy the world and to use wisely the gifts of creation they found on this earth.
We are thankful for the good earth and all that is part of it. We are thankful for the gifts of creation that enable us to live. We are thankful that we were created to become creators, that we can make and fashion new things in the world to make life better for ourselves and for everyone.
So we're going to sing a little song about creation.
So your part is you go like this. In the beginning, in the beginning, in the beginning, Bereshit. Bereshit is the Hebrew word for in the beginning. In the beginning, in the beginning, in the beginning, Bereshit. So try that with me. In the beginning, in the beginning, in the beginning, Bereshit. In the beginning, in the beginning, in the beginning, Bereshit. Got that? The world was dark, there was no light, there was no day, there was no night. In the beginning, in the beginning, in the beginning, Bereshit. Everybody, in the beginning, in the beginning, in the beginning, Bereshit. In the beginning, in the beginning, in the beginning, Bereshit. There was no grass, there were no trees, there were no birds, there were no bees. In the beginning, in the beginning, in the beginning, Bereshit. And everybody, in the beginning, in the beginning, in the beginning, Bereshit. In the beginning, Bereshit.
All right. We are grateful for all the good things we have in this world, and we give thanks to God, to the Holy One. We join in Baruch Hu, our call to prayer.
So this is one of those special melodies that Rabbi talked about. We're going to do the melody for the evening service, and guess what? It's the only time the whole year, except on Erev Yom Kippur, that you hear this melody. Baruch atah, sorry. Baruch hu et Adonai hamevorach. Baruch Adonai hamevorach. Le'olam va'ed.
And even as we are thankful for the world, we are also thankful to our ancestors, whose Torah reminds us of the creation of the world by one creator. We speak the words they wrote to tell us that we live in one world created by one God, a world in which all people can live as one family. We join in Shema Yisrael.
This is also a melody we all only hear on High Holy Days. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam va'ed.
Let's say out loud some of the things we hope to do in the year to come.
In this new year, we pray that we will be kind and not mean.
May your prayer come true.
In this new year, we pray that we will be friendly and not cold.
May your prayer come true.
In this new year, we pray that we will be helpful and not lazy.
May your prayer come true.
In this new year, we pray that we will make peace on the playground, in the classroom, and in our homes.
May this prayer come true.
May our prayer come true.
So we are going to, as we do with on our family service, each Friday, we have our prayer that connects us to all the people who've come before us, to our parents and grandparents and great-grandparents and great-great-great-great-great-great-grandparents, all the way back to Sarah and Abraham. It's our Avot Ve'imahot prayer. So we'll start with a line asking God to open our hearts and our lips to sing words of goodness and blessing, and then we'll sing our Avot Ve'imahot prayer. Melody is a little different this time, and there's a part in here that we don't have on our regular Shabbat prayer. It says, Zochrenu l'chaim, remember us for life, and write us into the book of life. Zochrenu l'chaim, v'chotvenu b'sefer hachayim, right? Those are the most important parts. There's some other words in there, but write us in the book of life. And so you'll hear that also as we go through.
Ananananana Adonai, Ananananana Satai Tiftach, Ananananana Ufi Agid Tehilatecha. Ananananana Adonai, open up my lips. Ananana Adonai, open up my lips. Ananana Adonai, open up my lips, so that I may sing words of praise to you. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Leah, Elohei Rachel, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor veHanorah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Vekoneh Hakol, Vezocher Chaste Avot ve'imahot, Umevi Geulah Livnei V'neihem, Leman Shemo Be'ahava. Here's your part. It goes like this. Zochreinu lechaim, melech, melech, chafetz b'chaim. I know that's a lot of words, but you can just go yai 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 yada yai 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 yai. Ready? Let's try it. Zochreinu lechaim, melech, melech, hafetz b'chaim. Zochreinu lechaim, melech, melech, hafetz b'chaim. Chodvenu b'sefer ha'chaim, l'manecha Elohim chaim. Back to ayai. Ayai, 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 Melech Ozer u'Moshia u'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah.
In our prayers, we ask God to help with many things. When we ask God for help, we're really asking God to be our partner, because humans have the main responsibility for taking care of the world. One of the things we ask God to help us with is spreading peace throughout the world. So we'll sing together, Sim, Sim, Sim Shalom. We ask God to give us, to help us to create peace and goodness and blessing.
Sim, 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 shalom, sim, 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 shalom, sim, 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 shalom, tova uveracha. Again, sim, 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 shalom, sim, 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 shalom, sim, 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 shalom, tova uveracha. Yada da 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 da, yada da 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 da, yada da 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 da. Die, 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 yada, die, 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 die. sim, 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 shalom, sim, 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 shalom, sim, 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 shalom, tova uvracha. One eye, yada da 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 da, yada da 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 da, yada da 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 da, yada da 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 da. Sefer Chaim bracha v'shalom ufratza tova nizacher v'nikatev lefanecha. אנחנו וכל עמך בית ישראל לחיים טובים ולשלום. ברוך אתה אדוני עושה השלום.
In the book of life, blessing and prosperity, may we be remembered and written before you, we and all of your people, the house of Israel, for a good life and for peace. Praised are you, Adonai, who brings peace. On Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, we say and sing many special prayers, and one of them is Avinu Malkeinu. When we ask God for help with all the problems in the world and to help us to have a good year. In this prayer, we recognize that even though we are responsible for trying to improve ourselves in the world, we do need God's help. We say, Avinu Malkeinu, be gracious to us and answer us because the tasks are too much for us. Treat us with justice and kindness and help us. So we're going to hear those words, Avinu Malkeinu.
Avinu Malkeinu, Konenu Vaneinu. Avinu Malkeinu, Konenu Vaneinu, Ki ein banu masi. Aseh manu, Aseh manu. Aseh manu tzedaka v'chesed be'hoshienu. Aseh manu tzedaka v'chesed be'hoshienu. Avinu Malkeinu, chonenu v'aneinu. Avinu Malkeinu, chonenu v'aneinu, ki ein banu masim.
And now we turn to our Torah. In it, we find the stories of the first members of the Jewish people who and the lessons that they left to us centuries ago by our ancestors. Wherever our people has gone, the Torah has gone with us, reminding us of who we are, where we came from, and what we're supposed to do. We are grateful that the Torah has been given to us. We pray that we learn from it and learn its lessons as our people has done in every place and in every age. And when we take the Torah out on holidays, we recite a list of God's special qualities. But I'm going to grab the Torah, so don't go anywhere. I have a Torah here, so I'm going to hold it while Cantor Paul sings this. So let me get it. Hold on a second.
Adonai, Adonai, El Rachum V'Chanun, Erech Apayim V'Rav Chesed V'Emet, Notzer Chesed La'alafim, Nosei Avon V'Fesha V'Chata'a V'Nakeh. Adonai, Adonai, El Rachum V'Chanun, Erech Apayim V'Rav Chesed V'Emet, Notzer Chesed La'alafim, Nosei Avon V'Fesha והפשע וחטאה ונקה. אדוני, אדוני, אל רך ובחנון, ערך אפיים ורב חסד ואמת, נוצר חסד לאלפים, נושא עוון והפשע וחטאה ונקה.
We're going in just a moment. I love your Torah, Aurora. Yeah,
that
I love that
rhymes.
you have your Torah there. We're going to continue with, we say the words of Shema Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh v'Norah Shemo.
So we are going to read a little bit of Torah, and just a moment. Just want to make sure that the Torah I have here is stable. Here we go. Cantor Paul, you're going to read from the beginning of Genesis. Is that what you decided?
That's a good idea, I think.
Okay.
Since we
So-
say in the beginning.
Yeah, so one of the alternate readings for Rosh Hashanah that we find in our Reform Machzor and our Reform High Holy Day prayer book is the very beginning of the creation story, because it's the birthday of the world. It's also what we'll be reading when we come up to Simchat Torah and a little bit later in this month. So we have the first day of creation that we have in the world, God creating light and separating light from darkness. So we will invite Cantor Paul to share that Torah with us.
Cool. So I'll say the bracha and you'll respond, okay, Rabbi?
Sure.
Baruch hu et Adonai hamvorach.
Baruch Adonai hamvorach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai hamvorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch ata Adonai notein haTorah.
Amen.
So I'll chant it in Hebrew and in English. Amen. Bereshit bara Elohim et hashamayim ve'et haaretz ve'haaretz hayta tohu vavohu ve'choshech al panei tahom ve'ruach Elohim merachefet al panei hamayim. Vayomer Elohim yehi or, yehi or. Vayar Elohim et haor ki tov, ve'yavdel Elohim ben haor uven hachoshech. Vayikra Elohim laor yom velachoshet kara laila vayhi erev vayhi voker yom echad. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Now the earth was formless and empty. Darkness was on the first surface of the deep. God's Spirit was hovering over the surface of the waters. And God said, "Let there be light." And there was light. And God saw the light. That was good. God divided the light from the darkness, and God called the day called the light day, and God then called the darkness night. There was evening and there was morning one day.
Blessing after the reading of the Torah.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torat emet, v'chayei olam nata b'tocheinu. Baruch atah Adonai notein haTorah.
Amen. So I'm going to share a story with you. In just a few minutes after this story, we're going to sound the shofar. We're going to blow the shofar for Rosh Hashanah. We've been sounding the shofar in the month of Elul leading up to Rosh Hashanah, but Rosh Hashanah is the time that we really sound the shofar. We really hear the blast of the shofar. So this is a story about the shofar. A long time ago, when all the people lived in one place, getting the news was easy. They had yellers who would walk around town, and after a few minutes of yelling, everybody got the news. But when people began living all over the place, even the yellers couldn't yell loud enough to get the news around. Mostly people just didn't get the news, but sometimes, some special times just had to be mentioned, and the arrival of the new year was one of those times. So God asked Enoch to go find an announcing tool. The next day, Enoch returned with 2 rocks, and he would bang them together. "Oh God, listen to my fine announcing tool," said Enoch, who banged the 2 rocks. God said to Enoch, "What kind of announcing tool is that to tell of the arrival of a new year? Rocks don't make music, they only make noise. The new year is a time for music and singing, not banging and yelling." Enoch ran off to find another announcing tool. The next day, Enoch returned with a gong. "Listen to this one. Gong, gong." He made lots of gonging sounds until God said, "Stop! What kind of announcing tool is that to announce the arrival of a new year? The gong does make a strong sound, but the gong is made of iron, and iron is used to make swords and spears and arrows and other weapons of war. The new year is a time for peace, not war." So Enoch ran off to find a new announcing tool. The next day, Enoch returned with a harp. "God, this one is a winner," he said as he strummed some lovely harp sounds that filled the air. "Close," said God. "Very close, but not close enough. The harp is a lovely instrument. It is not noisy, it is not made of iron, but it is too soft and fine for an announcing tool. This New Year's time is a time for loud rejoicing. We need an announcing tool that will carry the news from hilltop to hilltop." Excuse me. That will carry from hilltop to hilltop around the world. So you have to try again. The next day, Enoch returned with a golden trumpet in his hand and announced to God, "What you see here, God, is the perfect announcing tool. It makes music, not noise. It's not made of iron, and it's loud enough to carry the news of the new year from hilltop to hilltop." Enoch then blew some fine notes on the golden trumpet. Then God said, the golden trumpet is a good announcing tool. And Enoch jumped up and down with joy until God continued, good, but not good enough. The golden trumpet makes loud, beautiful music and is not made of iron, but it is made by somebody who pounded it and rolled it and shaped it. I want a natural announcing tool that is not made by people. I want an announcing tool that is not made of gold. Prices are going up. Nobody could afford such an announcing tool. Enoch was getting depressed, but he ran off one more time to hunt down another announcing tool. The next day, Enoch was a little late in coming to God. When he did arrive, he was out of breath. I'm embarrassed, God. To show you my new announcing tool. It's only a ram's horn, not nearly as sweet as the harp or as beautiful as the golden trumpet, but it's not made of iron and nobody pounded it or shaped it except for the ram. I even think it's loud enough to get the news from hilltop to hilltop, but I'm not sure if it's good enough announcing tool. Why are you not sure? Asked God. Enoch replied, well, you see, O Holy One, blessed be you. I have been practicing with this thing all morning, and it is ever so hard to blow. Sometimes I blow and all I get is a or and maybe another. God spoke to Enoch with great love. Enoch, you have done well. The ram's tool is the perfect announcing tool. It is natural and loud and can make beautiful sounds. And I know it is hard to play, but that is just right. The new year is hard too. It's a time for deciding to do good things and give up bad things. The new year is a time for apologizing to others for hurting them in any way. And all that is very hard to do, even harder than blowing the ram's horn. Then God sat Enoch down and taught him to blow the ram's horn for the big celebration of the new year that was soon to begin. By the end of one lesson from God, Enoch could blow the ram's horn without one along the way. The Shana Tova, everyone, wishing you a year of goodness and a year of blessing. We're going to return our Torah and sing our Eitz Chaim song. So let me grab it here. It is a tree of life to those who hold fast to it.
Eitz Chaim hi lemachzikim ba betomcha meoshar. Eitz Chaim hi lemachzikim ba betomcha meoshar. Shalom, 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 shalom. It is a tree of life to those who hold fast to it. All of its supporters are happy. It is a tree of life to those who hold fast to it. All of its supporters are happy. Shalom, 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 shalom.
So another thing that makes Rosh Hashanah a very special day is the sounding of the shofar, that ram's horn that we were just talking about. The shofar has always reminded our people of the important things to think about and do in the new year. Before we hear the shofar, we say two blessings. The first is over the sounding of the shofar, and it ends with the words lishmoa kol shofar, to listen to the sound of the shofar. That is the commandment from the Holy One, to hear the sound of the shofar. And the second blessing is our shehechianu blessing, thanking God for giving us life and keeping us alive and allowing us to reach this time.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lishmoa kol shofar. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehecheyanu v'kiyamanu v'higianu lazaman hazeh.
I'm going to say a few words about the different sounds of the shofar, and then we will hear the sound of the shofar. So the first of the shofar sounds is a single unbroken sound. It's called tekiah. It reminds us of all the years and centuries in which our people have celebrated the creation of the world and given thanks for its gifts. It reminds us that we are part of a people that stands together and unbroken each year to celebrate the creation of the world. The second sound of the shofar makes is shivarim, which is three long sounds. Da, da, da. Let it remind us of the three great kinds of creations we have discussed. The creations that you and I can make, things like cookies and pictures, the creations that were made for us, trees, animals, rain, and sun, and the creations that are the feelings we can help bring about, feelings like friendship, happiness, and peace. The third of the shofar sounds is teruah, a series of tiny sounds. Let them remind us that the great feeling we plan to create are made with little deeds that we do. Happiness can only be made by doing the little things that make us and others happy. Friendship can be made only by doing little friendly things for one another. Peace can only be made by choosing not to cause little hurts and making up for little wrongs. And then the last of the shofar sounds is tekiah gedolah, a long, unbroken note on the ram's sword. It reminds us of the kind of world we want to create in this new year. So I'm going to get ready with the shofar, and then Cantor Paul will tell me which sounds to make.
Tekiah Shvarim teruah Tekiah Tekiah Shvarim Tekiah Tekiah Teruah Tekiah gedolah This is the sound of the shofar, the shofar, the shofar. This is the sound of the shofar. That's how the shofar sounds.
We ask as we close our service, we ask for a good year with hopes and prayers for the new year. And we say to each other, Lishana Tova Tikatevu, which is, we ask that we be written for a good year in the book of life. And we'll sing the words, Lishana Tova Tikatevu V'techatemu, that we should be written and sealed for a good year.
Lishana Tova, Lishana Tova, Lishana Tova, Lishana Tova, Lishana Tova, Tikatevu V'techatemu.
A reminder that we are gathering at Red Hill Park at 4:00 for Tashlich, symbolically casting away our transgressions, and the shofar, in-person shofar service. masking and social distancing we're asking people to abide by that. If you have a shofar, feel free to bring it with you for our Tikiyah Gedolah, for our final Tikiyah blast.
Right.
And
that's especially true for all our kids, right, Rabbi?
Right.
Do you have any?
Anybody who has a shofar wants to bring it, especially our children, they certainly can do that. So Lishana Tova, everybody. Thank you so much for being with us. We'll see some of you later at 4 p.m. at Red Hill Park, and the others we'll see on Shabbat or and certainly on Yom Kippur. So take care, everybody. Hope you start your year off with a good and sweet year. Eat some apples and honey, and we'll see you soon. Take care.
Shana Tova. Thank you,
Shana
Rora.
Tova.